Hi, good afternoon. The last section we completed the types of consoles or windows in the SCILAB and how to open the SCILAB, how to close the SCILAB. Now, in this section, we are going to be learn about working in the command window and then some basic mathematical functions in the SCILAB. Now, whenever we are to going to be start the particular SCILAB, the screen will be opened like this. Then we are going to be start to enter the when we are going to be start to enter the command in the particular console. Then the command must and should be placed next of the particular command prompt once after entering the particular command. For example, I'm going to be considering the one variable a is equal to going to be some assign the value in the a variable, that is going to be considered as a 2. After assigning the value for the variable, click enter button. We are going to be click the enter button, the last command only it is going to be executed. Once the command is executed, we never change the previously executed the command. In order to change the previous execute command, we need to use up arrow and then change the value for the previous variable. Then once again click enter. Then now the same thing, I'm going to be assign the another value. B is going to be considered as a 5. Click enter. Now I'm assigning the two values now. One it is going to be considered as a, another one it is going to be considered as a B. Now I'm going to be do this some operation, additional operation. C is equal to A plus B. Then click on enter. Now C is going to be calculated addition of A plus B. Now, in order to give all the values in a single column, that means in order to assign the values for all the variables in a single column. Now see how it is. That means simply I am going to be considering here a is equal to once again 10. I am going to be use the operator as comma. B is going to be considered as a 15, comma. C is going to be considered as a 20. Then click enter. When I am going to be click enter, the command is going to be executed from left to side to right side direction. Simply see here, A is going to be considered as a 10, B is going to be considered as a 15, and then C is going to be considered as a 20. When we are going to be use the comma command, we can assign the variables, multiple variables in a single column. This is the first command, that is comma. And then second command is semicolon. That means same thing, I'm going to be assign the some value here. D is going to be considered as a 20. Now I does not going to be execute this one. That means I does not require any output for this one. Simply I'm going to keep the semicolon here. Then click enter. That means whenever we are going to be use the command semicolon, at the end of the command, the output command is not displayed. Typing a semicolon is useful when the result is known or when the output is very large. If several commands are typed in the same line, the output from any commands will not displayed if semicolon is typed in between the commands instead of a comma. That means previously we used here a is equal to 10, comma b is equal to 15, comma c is equal to 20. When I'm going to be try to click enter, it is going to be executed the particular commands one by one. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 15, C is equal to 20. The same thing, I'm going to use the semicolon now. That means A is equal to going to be considered as a 15 semicolon, B is going to be considered as a 20 semicolon, C is going to be considered as a 25 semicolon. Then click enter. Nothing can be executed. That is the purpose of semicolon. And then one more command. In order to comment the particular test, we are going to be use the forward slash, /2 if it is a single line command. Click enter, hi, and then click enter. That is a single line command. If you have a multiple lines commands, then we are going to be use the forward slash and then star symbol and then type the test here. At the end of the test, we are going to be followed star with respect to the forward slash and then click enter. Then once again it is going to be appeared for the our command prompt once again. In order to get the help from the SCILAB through online, we are going to be use here help, and then for which one we require help. For example, I required how to write the square root, SQRT. I need the help for a square root. Click enter. Then it is going to be shows here help format. What is the square root? Syntax for square root. What is the description? Like this, it is going to be shows the help in the particular help window. That is for help syntax. The same thing, in order to clear the console tab, in order to clear the data which is available in the console, we are going to use the command clc to clear the console. In order to clear the variable browser, use clear, then click enter. Then variables which are stored in our memory, it is cleared entirely. Now same thing, I'm going to be do the operations now. Here elementary functions. First thing, elementary functions. What are the types of elementary functions out there, and then how we are going to be execute this one. Now first thing, I'm going to be assign a one value for a is equal to -10. I require a value in terms of positive terminal. Then I'm going to be use here same thing, b is equal to, I'm going to be assign in the way another variable b, abs of, that means absolute of the particular a value. Then click enter. You see here the negative value is going to be converted into the positive terminal. That means it is going to absolute value, that is simply going to be considered as our modulus. Negative values are going to be converted into the positive values. That is the first one, absolute. And then second one, square root. How to define a square root? Now simply I'm going to be considering here, I'm going to be assign the value a is equal to 4. Now the square root of the 4, we already know that square root of 4 is going to be considered as a 2. Simply SQRT of a, and then click enter. Now see here, square root of 4 is going to be considered as the 2. That is the second expression. Now third one, I required angle values, that means sine 30, sine 40, like this. If I am going to be entered here sine of 30, here when you are going to be use the command sine of 30, the angle within the radians. If you are going to be required in the terms of degree, means sine d of 30. Click enter. The same thing for cos also. Cos of 30. Enter. It is in the form of radians. If you are going to be considered as a degrees, means sine of, sorry, cos of t, cos d of 30, then it is comes to the degrees here. Now we require exponential. How we have to going to be give the exponential of it? That means exponential of 3, for example. I'm going to be considered as the exponential of 3. Now simply I'm going to be considered as exp, syntax for exponential, exponential of 3. Then click. This is the exponential value of 3 here. Here next one, log values. We have two types of logs are there. One, it is going to be considered as a common logarithm. Another one, it is going to be considered as a natural logarithmic functions here. The common logarithmic function is going to be considered as a the log power value with respect to the base 10. Another one, it is going to be considered as a log value. Simply I'm going to be considered as a log 30. Natural function it is. If I am going to be considered as a common logarithm base value, now I am going to be considered as log 10 of the 30 value. That is another value. One, it is for log, it is going to be considered as a natural one. Log 10, it is going to be considered as a common one. Now, I require the power, for example 2 power 4, 2 power 6 is there. How to assign this one? That means a is equal to 2 power 10, for example 2 power, that means cap 10, 2 power 10. I have going to be know about the pi value. How to know the pi value? That means percentage pi. That is the pi value. In MATLAB directly we are going to be entered pi, but here in SCILAB in front of the p, that means behind of the p, we must ensure we have to going to be use the percentage symbol. Now how to round off the particular value? For example, I'm going to be considered a is equal to pi value, is equal to pi value. I'm assigning pi value for the a. I need to round off this one. That means a round off the particular a value, and then click enter. Now see here, it will be considered if the after the point the value is more than 0.5, then it is going to be considered as a 4 next number. If it is less than 0.5, then it is going to be considered as a previous value, that is going to be considered as 3. That is for a round off value. These are the some of the elementary functions which are going to be used in the particular SCILAB here. For example purpose, I'm going to be use the one example here. Now see the one example. Now just consider here, I'm going to be considered one example. 35.7 is going to be multiplied 64 minus 7 power 3 enter divided by 45 plus 5 square. Simply for this one I'm going to write the command here. 35 35.7 is going to be multiplied by 64. I'm going to be keep it in the brackets here. Is going to be multiplied by 64 minus 7 power 3 is there. 7 power 3. Here entire upper terminal is going to be divided by 45 minus 5 square, then click enter. Click enter. That is the value. That means 35.7 is going to be multiplied by 64 minus 7 power 3 is entire function is going to be divided by 45 minus 5 power square. Here I'm going to be consider the another example. For this one, it is easy one we consider here. These are all are easy. And then see the next one. If you have concept of a log terminal, for example, 3 power 7 log 76 divided by 7 power 3 plus 546 plus cube root of 910. Now simply see here. I'm going to be considering this one. For this one, 3 power 7, first I'm going to be considered here. 3 power 7 brackets close is going to be multiplied log of log of 76. Entire terminal is going to be divided by 7 power 3 plus 546 brackets close here, then starting comment. This is the first component. Along this one we are going to be add the cube root of 910 plus cube root purpose 910 power of the cube root is going to be written as a 1 divided by 3. Now click enter. That is the solution for this one. How to write the in order to write the exponential, we are going to be considered here. I am going to be assigned some value for x. For example, x is equal to be considered as a 5. Example purpose, I am going to be considering here exponential of 3x, for example. That means another variable I am going to be save the exponential value within another variable b. B is equal to exponential of 3x, for example. That means 3 into x is, we already assigned the x value here, x is equal to 5. That means x, that means exponential of 15 now. Now that is the exponential the value here. The same thing I am going to be considering some example for writing the exponential value for this one. Simply 43 is going to be multiplied the entire section value. For example, 250 over 4th root. That means simply I am going to be considered as 250 over 1 divided by 4 plus 23 for this one 250 power 4th root of 250 plus 25. For this one it will be consists of a power value. Simply I am going to be consider another bracket here, power of 2 brackets close. This section is going to be divided by, for this value is going to be divided by e power exponential power 45 minus 3 power 3 something. And we are going to be consider exp of 45 minus 3 power 3 brackets close. Simply I am going to be considered here exponential of 45 power 43 and then the brackets below, then click enter. That is our solution. Simply 43 is going to be multiplied these two other variables. So the value which will be get for 4th root of 250 plus 23 whole square divided by exponential 43 minus 3 power cube. This is, in this way we are going to be consider the exponential. The same thing I am going to be consider here how to write the sign values and then the pi value in the particular example. Simply I am going to be consider the one example here, a cos square into cos square into 5 pi by 6 multiplied by sine square 7 pi by 8 plus the same thing here. I'm going to be right here cos square. I'm going to be considered in the terms of radians. COS cos of simply 5 into pi. We already says that the pi is going to be indicated by percentage symbol and then pi is divided by 6 brackets close. For this one it will be, that means for entire thing cos I'm going to be consider the square root here, square root square, sorry not square root, square. Now after entering this one we need to close this one. First function is completed. Then I'm going to be considered this first function is going to be multiplied with respect to the second function here. Sine of 7 into pi divided by 8 brackets close. And then for this one we are going to be consider the square root, simply over square, then close this one along this one entire section. I'm going to be close the entire section here. Entire section is closed. Now the two functions are also going to be closed once it is completed. Now we have to going to be considered here the plus tan. Simply I'm going to be open the braces, one braces, tan brackets open. I'm going to be considered the 2 here. Pi by 6 pi divided by 6 is going to be multiplied log of 8 brackets close, then tan brackets close, enter brackets close, divided by 7 root 7. Simply I'm going to be considered here divided by 7 into, otherwise square root it is there. Simply I'm going to be considered over 1 divided by 2. Otherwise simply I'm going to be considering here, simply I'm going to be considering here SQRT of 7 brackets close, for entire terminal brackets close, brackets close. Here one function we are opened here and purpose, brackets close, and then after click enter. This is our resolution. This is this way we have to going to be used the particular cos values, sine values, pi values as well as the tan values. Another example, initially I'm going to be consider the one variable. The variable is going to be considered as a x. I'm going to be assign some variables. With the help of the x value I'm going to be calculate the solution here. X is equal to going to be considered as a 13.5. For example, I'm going to be assigning the value for x value. X is equal to 13.5. I'm going to be evaluate one equation. For example, first equation x cube, simply mx over 3, keep it in the brackets, over 3 plus 5x square, 5 into simply x square, next minus 26.7 into x brackets close minus 52. We already assigned the x value and then finally we get the solutions here. In this way we are going to be define the values and later we can use the values. In the next section we are going to be continued the elementary or the functions. Thank you.